My friends, how are you? It is absolutely fantastic to see you for yet another video, and we are basically living through one of the most embarrassing times in American history right now, as the biggest loser of a president we have ever had continues to lose on the world stage for everyone to see, and it is getting downright just embarrassing for all of us. There's no better word than I can think of. America just looks weak and pathetic right now as Donald Trump continues to plunge America into its next Great Depression, basically. So we've got a lot going on here today, and I got to talk about both Canada and China today, as they are just absolutely kicking Donald Trump's ass on the world stage, my friends. So when it comes to Canada, we all know that this beef Donald Trump has with Canada started when both Ivanka and Melania wanted to fuck Justin Trudeau, and that made Donald Trump really upset, right? I'm not gonna talk about the Ivanka thing this video because that's just so weird and creepy, and I'm just gonna leave Ivanka alone on this entire subject. But when it comes to Melania, this entire thing makes perfect sense, my friends. If she has to wake up every day and look at his fat, bloated orange face, an incompetent man that can't even put words together, does not understand anything that's going on in the world, just make a complete buffoon of himself every fucking chance he gets. So when she sees Justin Trudeau, she goes, you know what? He's looking pretty good. And I get it, because I spend all my time getting these videos together, so I have to look at Donald Trump's big orange fat fascist face every day of my life, and it's getting to the point where I'm kind of considering fucking Justin Trudeau also to try to get that image out of my fucking head. I'm not really sure yet, but there is a lot going on with Canada. As we remember, Donald Trump started with the tariffs against Canada, which is silly because we've been long-standing trading partners for a very, very long time. So he started with the economic attacks, of course, and then he switched over to the 51st state rhetoric, thinking that he was going to bully the shit out of Canada and just put them in their place. And, well, what is happening is Canada is proving that they have much more competent leadership, and Donald Trump is just getting the shit kicked out of him. And I do have the occasional Canadian that comes here and tells me that Mark Carney is ruining Canada, he's destroying the place, and they need to get him out of office and all these things. Hey, if you want to know what incompetent leadership looks like, just look south of the border, because we are getting it fucking done down here. When it comes to incompetent leadership, America is the king of the castle, my friends. We've got the dumbest motherfucker in the world in charge of America's government. It's absolutely absurd. But like I was saying, yeah, he was trying to bully the shit out of Canada, basically. And this thing is backfiring absolutely spectacularly for the Canadian people, not for the Americans. We're getting the shaft over here, my friends, like we should have known we were going to do. But first I want to talk about a number of Canadians that talked to me in yesterday's video about how worried they are about Donald Trump putting the Qatari military basically right on their border up in Idaho. And I share those same worries, my Canadian friends. He has threatened to annex you on multiple occasions, and now his Qatari military is showing up on your border. And yesterday's video was a little bit disappointing for me. I'm going to explain why. I was shocked at the amount of Americans that are considering Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth moving the Qatari military into America as being, they use the term nothing burger, which I hate. I don't like that term at all, but being like an insignificant thing in America. And I completely fucking disagree. For anybody that's been following Donald Trump, at least for a little while, it's never nothing with Donald Trump. It is always something with Donald Trump. So I want to talk about that for just a second, and I want to kind of actually think about what is going on right now. So you know how Donald Trump has referred to Americans as his enemy, the enemy from within, the president of the United States. That's what he calls everyone that is not in lockstep with his stupid fucking fascist ideas, right? And Donald Trump has been doing some crazy shit where he's been trying to turn the American military onto American citizens. Most recently, he tried to, maybe not most recently, the shit happens every day, but recently recently he tried to activate California's National Guard to send them to Portland because he is lying about Portland being this war-torn wasteland. Well, while he was trying to do that, a court blocked him and said, you cannot send California's National Guard to fucking Portland, Oregon. What are you doing? And Donald Trump heard something that he shouldn't have heard, but he did hear. And what he heard was that, oh, nobody said I can't send Texas National Guard up there. So then the same judge had to come back and go, God damn it, I meant you can't send any fucking National Guard to Portland, okay? Now, with that in mind, we need to remember that Donald Trump is running into some difficulties with his attempts to vilify Americans, refer to Americans as terrorists, and actively planning to kill Americans. He is running into court resistance where they are saying, you cannot turn the American military against the citizens. But what they did not say is you cannot turn the Qatari military against the citizens. Are we all following now? Donald Trump is actively attacking Americans, and I would not be shocked even a little bit if this was just another fucking loophole that Donald Trump thought that he could get away with. So my Canadian friends, I understand your concern, and I know a lot of you understand my concern. And to the Americans yesterday that said this was nothing, I hate to be the guy to do this. I'm trying to grow a channel here, but I am disappointed. If you think that Donald Trump is up to nothing, it's time to start paying attention to what's going on, okay? He's not up to nothing. Donald Trump is never not up to nothing. But we'll get back to the ass kicking that Canada is giving Donald Trump, and we will get to China here later on in the video. So as we know, America is losing jobs rapidly. We don't really know the numbers because a couple things. One, the government shut down because the Republicans can't be fucked to do their job. Mike Johnson sent the House off for another week-long vacation, and they're just choosing not to do their job at all, the Republican Party. And also because Donald Trump fired the head of the BLS here just a couple months ago because he didn't like them putting out the numbers that reflected Donald Trump's failing economy. So what we have to work with is ADP. ADP is a private payroll company in America that tracks these job numbers as part of their business, right? There may be more to it, but that's basically all you need to know about that. And ADP showed a loss of 32,000 jobs in the private sector in America just last month. The month before that, we saw job losses from ADP and the official government numbers, and I believe the month before that also. Basically, we're on this downward trend of losing jobs in this country like fucking crazy. And no amount of blaming the immigrants and mass deportations and in trucking, for example, shutting down non-domiciled CDLs, all these things, none of these things are stopping the bleeding when it comes to job losses in America because of Donald Trump's failed fucking trade policies, right? Now, Canada, with the more competent, cool-headed leadership of Mark Carney and I'm sure plenty of other politicians. I'm American, so I know of Mark Carney, and I believe Charlie Angus is no longer in government, but I know of Charlie Angus. That's it. That's all I know. They probably know a few more, but that's the gist of it. That's basically what I know. But through the calm, collected, cool leadership, intelligent leadership of the Canadian people, Canada has done a lot of good things for the Canadian people. And what we need to know is just last month, Canada added 60,000 jobs to their economy. Now, my understanding of that, why that is happening, is basically America is getting cut out of the world order, the whole fucking global trade and everything, because we have proven to be an unreliable trading partner because Donald Trump can't figure out what the fuck tariffs are, or he doesn't understand how to use them, or he's purposely trying to bankrupt America. I don't really fucking know. So Canada's leadership has made all these trade deals around the world. They are increasing trade with China, which is a huge, huge customer on the world stage. And they have added so much work that they had to add 60,000 jobs in the last month. So while America is shrinking and losing all these jobs, and Donald Trump lying to the American people and saying that the economy is great, the economy is absolutely fantastic, the country of Canada is actually growing and making Donald Trump look absolutely fucking stupid right now. And it's not just economic things. It's like cultural influence, shit like that. Canada proving to be reliable on the world stage. Canada proving to have incompetent leadership is just making Canada a bigger player in general on the world stage. And America obviously didn't want this power anymore. We voted for Donald Trump. We didn't, but we understand. You guys understand what I'm saying. We clearly didn't want it anymore. We have squandered the entire thing, and we will never ever get it back at this point, because once these other countries move in and claim that piece of the pie that we gave up, we're not getting it back. All right. So that's basically what's going on between the two economies. We're shrinking here in America while Canada continues to expand and plan for their futures and all these things that lead to a good fucking economy. So in Donald Trump's attempt to try to bully Canada and play the tough guy and act like he knew more and he knew better, it turns out that the Canadian leadership actually has their shit together, while Donald Trump still proves to be a fucking buffoon. And I had a few people ask me, with the non-domiciled CDLs and all that, if that's going to affect like the Canadian drivers. As a matter of fact, my good friend Guard the Leaf sent me an article that I just got to read over just for a few minutes. I haven't got to look at it, but basically there is a bill proposed to stop Mexican and Canadian drivers from driving in America. It's proposed by a Republican. The government's currently shut down. In the event that they open the government back up, or Mike Johnson brings everybody back to the House to fucking do their jobs, there may be a vote on it, and I would guess it would probably pass in the House. I don't know necessarily in the Senate, but what I would say as either a Canadian or a Mexican in this situation is, who gives a fuck? I mean, I don't know what Mexico's economy is doing, but Canada is growing their economy. Hell, just truck up there. Fuck it. Who gives a shit? America does not have the work for you anyways, and I wouldn't sweat it. I wouldn't worry about it. Right now, if I were Canadian, I would take a lot of pride in my country. I would recognize the opportunity that you and your leadership are bringing to your country, and I would focus more on that. I wouldn't give a fuck if America wants me to drive in America or not. But yes, there is an attempt, at least in the form of a bill, who knows when it will be voted on, to prevent Canadian truck drivers and Mexican truck drivers from entering America, and that will not do what the Americans think it will do. Oh, more work for us. No, that moves us into the China part of this fucking video, because it does not equate to more work for us, because this whole thing with China is getting way fucking worse also. So recently, China had, God damn it, they had done something, some export controls on rare earth minerals. Now, I'm going to level with you. In this instance, I could not find out specifically what these export controls were from China with their rare minerals going out to other countries in the world. I can only assume maybe an export tax, a tariff in that direction, or maybe limiting how much goes to certain areas of the world, things like that. And this had caused Tesla stocks to drop very quickly, because Tesla uses a lot of these rare earth minerals, which caused Donald Trump to freak the fuck out. I would say it's safe to say Donald Trump and Elon Musk are still in cahoots, right? Because Donald Trump then flips his fucking lid and goes, that's it, I'm putting an additional 100% tariff on Chinese products. Donald, you dumb son of a bitch, you already lost this trade war. Now, let me be clear. Donald Trump personally won the trade war, because Donald Trump is using the tariff money to enrich himself while he robs the American people for at least 30% on everything that we buy. So Donald Trump, on a personal level, has won the trade war. Let's check in on his golden ballroom. Let's check in on his $400 million Qatari jet that's being renovated by the American people. I just can't figure out. Donald Trump seems to be enriching himself through this entire thing, but the American people have lost the trade war with China already. And if you don't believe me, let's check in with all the jackass farmers out there that voted for Donald Trump and are now freaking the fuck out that they cannot keep their farms open, that they're going to go bankrupt because China is not buying a single goddamn soybean from the American farmer. Because China went to other places. China went to Brazil. China went to Argentina, who we just bailed out, by the way. We took care of Argentina first. Make Argentina great again, my friends. That's exactly what we did. We took care of Argentina first, before we even considered taking care of the American farmers that Donald Trump has single-handedly bankrupted. And the reason I say single-handedly is because the spineless Republicans won't stand up for him. Donald Trump's tariffs are actually illegal. Presidents aren't allowed to do this, but since they refuse to do their job, Donald Trump is allowed to just run all over the American people the way that he is doing, all right? So, in the midst of Donald Trump already bankrupting America's farmers, to which he's like, maybe I'll bail him out, I don't really fucking know. Donald Trump did this through his trade wars, through his fucking tariffs, right? He wakes up one day pissed off about the rare earth minerals and goes, that's it, we're adding another 100% tariffs onto Chinese products, which is supposed to go into effect on November 1st. Now, the saving grace that we used to have, my friends, is gone. And you know why? It's because we fucked it up. You remember when we were making fun of Donald Trump because he would turn the tariffs on and then he would freak the fuck out because the stock market would just tank in like a few minutes, which it did on Friday. And then Donald Trump would freak the fuck out, either freak out or he was using the drop in the stock market, like alerting his friends, hey, I'm going to crash the stock market. They go in and buy. He goes, okay, tariffs are back off. Hope you guys made $1 billion. Good job. Love you. I take care of my billionaire friends. That's what Donald Trump does. I don't know if it was fear or if he was helping his billionaire friends or if it was both. I'm not really sure. But Donald Trump had a habit of taking the tariffs off within the next day or two, which resulted in the American people and people all over the world referring to him as taco, meaning Trump always chickens out. And Donald Trump found out about that and his face turned red and his pudgy little fist got all balled up and he's like, I always chicken out? Yeah, we fucked ourselves with that one, my friends, making fun of Donald Trump, because this time when it comes to the tariffs having to do with China, Donald Trump's fragile ego is not going to allow him to remove these tariffs. I would almost be willing to put money on that if there was a way to bet on that, because Donald Trump absolutely will not tolerate being called taco again. It hurt his feelings, and you could tell that it did. So now that Donald Trump has increased the tariffs by 100% on Chinese products starting on November 1st, I actually do not believe that he's going to back off on this. I don't think he's going to. Right before Christmas, my friends, the 100% tariff. So as if the fucking supply chain wasn't already broken enough, which I have been documenting in my video, showing you guys what's going on out here in the trucking world, Donald Trump decided the same thing that he's been doing. He's just going to do it worse. He's just going to do it harder, and that somehow is going to fix the situation. Meanwhile, China and Canada are negotiating different deals having to do with, I guess it's like canola oil, stuff like that coming out of Canada, and they're asking for Canada to drop the tariffs on Chinese EVs, electric vehicles, right? And there's some negotiation happening where the Chinese EVs, maybe Canada will go, well, we're not going to drop the tariff because we still got automobile manufacturing here in Canada, but that's kind of getting fucked up with America doing all their bullshit. But we'd be willing to bring the tariff down to, I don't know, 25%. Well, all of a sudden, China now has a car market in Canada with their EVs. Canada drops the tariffs on their agriculture products, let's call it, going to China, and next thing you know, money's flowing to both sides while America is over here going, well, if you don't like it, we'll tariff you 200% then, you dumb bitch. And we continue to go more and more bankrupt because Donald Trump is a dumb son of a bitch that does not understand how any of this shit works at all. And the point of this entire video is this is a bloodbath. This is the most incompetent president that has ever existed in American history, just proving to the world what an absolute fucking buffoon he is, and the American people are paying the price for it. This is fucking brutal. This is absolutely brutal what is going on in America, and it is only about to get worse. These two leaders, Mark Carney and it's I'm going to pronounce this wrong. It's like Xi Jinping. I know I fucked that one up. That's why I always just say the leader of China, because I'm real bad at like the more ethnic sounding names. My name's Josh, so I don't have a whole lot of experience with stuff like that. Anyways, these leaders are much smarter than Donald Trump. Have spent a lot more time in leadership roles in whatever they've been doing than Donald Trump. Have a much firmer grip on the economy and world trade, way more than Donald Trump does. And Donald Trump is just getting fucking hammered right now. And in closing, If Donald Trump sticks to these 100% additional tariffs on the Chinese products starting November 1st, expect to see that supply chain break again. Expect to hear about the dock workers losing work. Expect to hear about the truckers losing work, the railroad workers losing work, on down the line, retail, and the collapse absolutely fucking continues. We are headed to a bad place, my friends, as China and Canada, at very least, and definitely Argentina, have outplayed Donald Trump in front of the fucking world, and it is absolutely embarrassing. Anyways, with that said, I got to get back to work. Love you guys. Bye now.